Ever stop to think how much those little impulse buys on your phone are adding up to, and how many subscription payments are sneaking out of your bank account every single month? Before I started using Rocket Money, let me tell you, I had no idea. But the first time I logged in, I saved $435. I couldn't believe it. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that helps you find and cancel your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps lower your bills so you can grow your savings. I just love the dashboard. It shows everything in one place, even the subscriptions you forgot you signed up for. And if there's something you don't need, Rocket Money helps you cancel it. Plus, it alerts you if a bill increases or if something unusual pops up in your account. It's basically like having a personal assistant for your money. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions and reach your financial goals faster with Rocket Money. Go to rocketmoney.com/Kim today. That's rocketmoney.com/Kim. rocketmoney.com/Kim. But wait, there's more. Here's hour 4 of the Kim Komando Show. So I don't know if you see this online, but it's a viral trend. You go to ChatGPT and you ask, am I hot or not? So I fired up FaceTime on my iMac and I took a screenshot of my face and then I pasted it into ChatGPT and I said, okay, so what's going on? And Chat came back and said, well, the blue button-down shirt is a classic. It's a clean choice, but you could look better if you put a pop of color and accessories, maybe a scarf. It's like, okay. Your hair is beautifully styled, but a bit of soft volume at the crown. Okay. And a few face framing layers could open up your face more on camera. You know what? Probably right about that. It also looks like you have a bit of mascara or eyeliner smudging under your eyes. It's very common, especially with long days or strong lighting. Yeah, that's probably true too. Maybe I should take another pic for Chat. I mean, without makeup, or as I like to say, reset back to factory settings. And on that happy note, get ready, everybody, because you are going to be tech ahead. I never want you to be left tech behind in the digital dust, because more than ever, the Kim Komando Show is a necessity in your life. And of course, I'm America's beloved digital goddess, and you can find the show on over 425 top stations across the United States. We're streaming in your favorite radio app. And wherever you get your podcasts, you can ask for the Kim Komando Show with a K, of course. And a big hello and salute goes out to all of our listeners on the American Forces Network Radio, reaching over 375,000 U.S. service members in 175 different countries and 200 ships at sea. And of course, the Commando Hotline is now open for you at 1-888-825-5254. Someone sent me a note the other day, said, does that mean anything? Yeah, I mean, if you want to spell it out, it says talk to Kim, but it's a lot easier just to give out the phone number. TAL. Okay. That gets annoying. And of course, you can always ask your favorite chatbot your questions, but they hallucinate and I don't. You know, every single day, it is my life's mission to make sure that you know exactly what's going on in the tech world. And so to that end, I go to over 35, 40 different websites and I chat with industry insiders. And here are 5 things you need to know that's happening right now. We're going to start with the Take It Down Act. It's now a law. After decades, it is illegal right now to post what's called non-consensual intimate images of anyone online, even if those images, here's the catch, are AI generated or deep fakes. But what if this happens to you? Posting a non-consensual intimate image, usually a nude or near nude, it's not rare. Think revenge porn. It happens every single day. Now, under this law, websites will have 48 hours after notification to remove the image. But will they? Here's the big gotcha. So many porn sites don't operate in the United States. They have horrendous record protecting women and children. Victims and their attorneys struggle to get these images removed. And every moment the image is out there, the likelihood of it being copied to other websites just grows exponentially. So bottom line, the law is a good start, but start is all it is. All right, moving on to number 2. It's a question that you may have on your mind. Can you become invisible online? Can you no longer be tracked? The answer is you can't. But with a lot of effort, you can make it harder to be found. Now, Atlantic Magazine had this really interesting article about Alec Harris. He's obsessed with privacy. Here are some things that he does. First, he uses 10 different phone numbers and he changes them all the time. Some are associated with burner phones, those throwaway phones. He opens multiple browser sessions on his computers and his phones, each with a different IP number that identifies his device. He keeps cash, prepaid anonymous debit and gift cards, prepaid SIM cards for his phones, and a Faraday bag to shield wireless devices from hackers. And he does a lot more. That's just the tip of the iceberg. So do you want to do that much work so you're not tracked? Me neither, unfortunately. All right, let's talk about Apple. They've really been in a real bad place lately. Let me tell you. Apple says that Apple Intelligence was available right now months ago. Okay, that claim has vanished from its website, despite all the ads and the hype and the talk. Apple's just lagging far, far behind. And Apple's excuse? They say that its products are built with privacy as a top goal. Well, here's the deal. You can have AI that's so powerful it seems like science fiction, and you can also have privacy. But you can't have them both. But let me tell you something. Those of us here in the United States, we value our gadgets over our privacy. Coming in at number 4, this is really interesting. It's called the Detect Presence of Life System. Now, when I say that, what do you think this tech might do? Come on, put on your thinking cap. Detect Presence of Life System. Okay. It can literally see through walls. Here's how it works. You lean a radar device right against the wall using a tripod. You step back about 2 feet, control the whole thing from a tablet or a smartphone app. The app shows a color-coded radar map from blue to red, marking exactly where people may be standing inside with little human icons. It uses an 8 gigahertz bandwidth. This means it's sharp enough to identify individuals, not just blobs. Now, it's also smart enough to tell the difference between actual human movements and stuff like maybe a fan. And how well it works depends upon the wall. Thin walls, not a problem. Thick brick walls, not as clear. So what's the FBI using this for? I don't know. That's a pretty good question. Again, it's called the Detect Presence of Life System. Finally, this coming in at number 5. When you go on vacation, do you sit by the pool with your phone and maybe do some puzzles? Do you take pictures? Do you text family members and friends back home saying, oh, here are some great things that we did today? Do you look up restaurants? Do you get directions? Well, a travel company called For the Love of, FTLO, they actually are promoting phone-free trips for solo travelers. You turn off all your notifications. Use a real camera instead of your phone. You leave your devices in your luggage behind on your trip. Okay, so no tech, no phones. A short trip like Costa Rica is about $1,600. If you're going to go to Japan, it's about $5,000. Speaking of, yes, a bad joke coming. Did you know that koi fish will travel in groups of 4 for safety? Yes, this is when you're going to pass along. I know you are. When in danger, koi A, B, and C will flee and escape, leaving behind the decoy. Oh, I know. That one was bad. Oh my gosh. I have so much that I want to tell you about. I was having trouble like jam packing it all into this show. Like, for example, how to share your vacation pics on your television. And there's a new scam out there. If you drop 10 or 20 bucks, I need to warn you about how to save time on if you're putting together family reunions or any type of summer get-togethers. And of course, we just have the best callers ever. And you don't want to miss me, Kim Komando. Okay, I normally give away an iPhone or some really cool laptop or something like that. But I decided our contest right now is the Pay It Forward Challenge. I'm going to give you $500, and then you get an additional $500 to give someone who you love, or maybe your favorite charity or what have. So here's what you need to do. Go to winfromkim.com to enter to win in the Pay It Forward Challenge. Do it right now while you're thinking about it. Go to winfromkim.com, winfromkim.com. All right, coming up in just a few minutes, some tricks to how you can use your phone to reduce motion sickness. But right now, how about we get this party started with Jamie in Tampa, Florida. Hi there, Jamie.
Hey, Miss Kim. How are you doing today?
I am fabulous. As always, Jamie.
Yes, I've been a fan of yours for many, many, many years. I found you when I was living in Atlanta. And then when I moved back up here to Tampa, I found you on the stations here. And I've just been a big fan of yours. I mean, I learned more from your radio show than I did at school when I was a child. I'm now in my 30s.
That's crazy. That's fun. You know what? I'm glad that you told me that. It's so nice to to know that, I've had a positive impact. And so what are you doing now as a profession?
Well, now I do internet radio. I do voice work for a couple of internet radio stations, and I do a couple of podcasts. I do a radio show about radio.
You know what? Someday we should have you do some work for us.
Well, listen, I can. If you need voiceover done, just tell me what you want me to say. Just drop me an email and tell me what you want me to say, and I'll get it back to you in about 5 minutes.
All right, that sounds good, and I'll pay you. I don't want anything for free, by the way. I want to pay you.
You're on. I'll give you my Cash App. You're on.
Okay. Perfect. So what's going on with you?
Well, Miss Kim, we've all heard about inflation, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm currently battling streamflation. So every time I turn around, one of the streaming services that I have is, we're going to raise the price. We're going to crack on password sharing. We're going to make your life a living nightmare because we don't want you to watch our stuff.
Correct.
And I have considered on more than one occasion cutting the cord on cutting the cord. But I need to know a way to do it. How can I watch the shows I want to watch without having to pay a kidney?
If you have any local channels that you want to watch, you get an antenna, one of those old school antennas. You know what I'm talking about. You know about radio, so you get like a Mohu Leaf or an Eclipse or something like that, an HD antenna, and then you scan for channels and you get it. Now, there are some free streaming services called Tubi, and there's another one called Canopy and Pluto, and we've got a list to them over at commando.com. There's also what's called the Cancellation Society. Now, to be a member of the Cancellation Society is that you have to be smart. So what you do is you sign up for whatever service that you want for that 7-day, 15-day, 30-day free trial. And when that show is over, you have to remember to cancel,
right?
Which a lot of people don't do. And then you also have maybe some perks that you haven't realized from your carrier. Like, for example, Verizon includes Netflix. Certain plans on T-Mobile includes Netflix. Some plans include Disney Plus. And so that's where you start looking at other perks that you may have to get your streaming. Otherwise, you know what? We all thought that we would save money by cutting the cord. And we're all sitting here going...
that was more like a pipe dream, wasn't it?
Yeah, for sure. Because we're all sitting here going like, okay, wait a minute. Jamie, I'm really glad that you called in. Don't get me wrong. Because that was so cool to talk to you, somebody who is like into radio. And we're going to have you do some voiceover work for us. But again, I don't want it free. I want to pay. I want to make sure that we pay you. Because I know you're going to say, I'll do it for free. I'll do it for free. I don't want it for free. Again, Jamie, thanks for your call. David in Knoxville, Tennessee. Ooh, this looks like a great question. Hi, David.
Hi, Kim. How are you?
Fantastic. What's going on?
Not much. First of all, it's such a pleasure to talk to you. I've been listening to you for years, and I never thought I'd get an opportunity to talk to you. I've got two stepsons, and they're constantly, they're on their Xboxes all weekend, and I'm constantly having to get on to them about screaming. And so I'm wondering, are there any devices on the market that I could hook up to those Xboxes that if they got above a certain decibel level, that it would cut them off?
So how loud are they?
They gets pretty intense sometimes where they're screaming at their friends online. I'm sure you know how that is. Oh,
just when you were saying that, I was thinking there were times when I would hear my son on his Xbox screaming, and I thought like he was getting hurt or something. I'm like,
it's the same way.
Like, are you all right? I mean, what happens when you try to just tell him to simmer down? It doesn't work?
I get, I'm sorry, it won't happen again. Of course, that just goes out the window. I even have, through our router, I'll cut their internet off through the router by my phone.
Oh, ouch. That's a bad one. Okay. Sorry, boys. Not listening. Got to feel. There you go. Okay. Well, what you can do is they have these in classrooms, and it looks like a stoplight. We'll send you the link over to you so you can check it out. It's like a stoplight. And when the decibel level when it's green, the stoplight's green, it's like, it's okay. When it's yellow, they're getting too loud. And
okay.
When it's red, that's when it's like, okay, you just need to simmer down. So what you can do is just put the stoplight right in their room, and then it gives them a visual. Are they wearing gaming headsets?
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so that means that's why they can't hear themselves. So this would be just a visual way for them to look at it. It's called a Yacker tracker. I mean, I don't name it. I just talk about this stuff. But again, it goes just green, yellow, red, and it does it by decibel level that you set. Now, if you wanted to get really creative, and if you wanted to be kind of a geek of the week, is that there's a website called IFTTT. And this is a way for you to set up subroutines. And so by using, say, a smart home hub with a smart device, is that you could set up a routine if there was a sound sensor in the room that when it got above a certain decibel level, is that it would cut off the power to the router.
Oh, sweet.
But this is going to require some homework and some steps for you to figure all out. They also have something called a Raspberry Pi, which is a cheapo computer. It's about $30, and it's really made for these type of homegrown solutions. And so if, maybe this is something you get the guys involved in, say, okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to build our own controller for your volume. This is pretty typical because with the gaming headsets, they keep the volume up really high in their ears. Mm-hmm. And so they don't really realize who they're talking to or how loudly they are. But yeah, I do remember that when Ian was, in high school, that would just be like bellowing down the hall and it'd be like, oh my gosh, can you just keep it down just a little bit? So before you go the whole, let's build our own solution with a smart plug and sensor and a Raspberry Pi or Arduino board, just try the traffic light. Maybe it'd be as simple as that. And so hang on the line. Amber, our lovely and talented screener today, among other things, is here on board. And so she's going to give you a link over to that Yacker tracker so you can take a look at it. And David, thank you for your call. All right, if you're taking a road trip and you get motion sickness, on your iPhone, there's a setting that can help. It's called Vehicle Motion Cues. And when you turn it on, little dots show up around the edge of your screen and move with the motion of the car. It sounds kind of strange, but it actually gives your brain something to track and will help with any type of nausea. You can find it under Accessibilities and Motion. Now, if you're on Android, it's a little bit different. There's no exact setting like that, but you can reduce motion effects in your phone's accessibility options. You can also turn on dark mode or the blue light filter. That will help too. Anything to make the screen just a little bit easier on your eyes. All right, still to come, it's a common occurrence. You come back from vacation and everybody says, hey, so show me some pics from your vacay. And you're like, oh, I want to do it on the TV. Well, I have the easy way I'm going to share with you here on the Kim Komando Show. If you own a home, listen up. This is scary. The FBI is warning about a crime on the rise, home title theft. And it doesn't happen the way you might think. No break-ins, no stolen keys, just a forged signature on a single piece of paper filed with the county. In minutes, criminals can transfer the title out of your name, then use your ownership to drain your equity or even sell your home. The worst part, most people don't know what's happening until they get collection or foreclosure notices in the mail. That's why I trust Home Title Lock. When you visit HometitleLock.com/Kim, you'll get a free title history report and a 14-day free trial of their $1 million triple lock protection, including 24/7 monitoring of your home's title, urgent alerts to changes, and if fraud does happen. Their U.S.-based restoration team will work to restore your title, covering costs up to $1 million. Don't wait. Protect your home and equity today. Get your free 14-day trial at HometitleLock.com/Kim. That's HometitleLock.com/Kim.
Big news. Sephora is now on Uber Eats. So if you find yourself facing a beauty emergency, like needing a last-minute gift, or you're just out of your favorite mascara, again, don't panic. We got you. Order now and get $10 off on Sephora orders of $50 or more on the Uber Eats app. Order now. Offer ends October 30th. One order per customer. Additional terms apply. See app for availability. Delivery fees may apply.
The family that vacations together stays together. At least, that was the plan. Except now, the Dastardly desk clerk is saying he can't confirm your connecting rooms.
Wait, what?
That's right, ma'am. You have rooms 201 and 709.
No, we cannot be 5 floors away from our kids.
The doors have double locks. They'll be fine.
When you want connecting rooms confirmed before you arrive, it matters where you stay.
Welcome to Hilton. I see your connecting rooms are already confirmed.
Hilton, for the stay.
All right, so summer's right around the corner, and maybe you're planning a family reunion, or just maybe just a get together. What really is great is that you can share a shopping list in real time, and you can use Google Keep or Apple Notes. You create the list and then you share it with everybody in your group. And then they can add things while you're at the store. You'll be updated, and they can say things like, don't forget the coffee. You can also scan receipts and get some cash back. Apps like Ibotta and Fetch Rewards, they pay you to snap a picture of your grocery receipt. It's easy money. I know what you're saying, like, okay, yeah, but they're tracking everything. Yeah, they are. They're going to track every single thing. But again, that's Google Keep or Apple Notes. If you're planning a vacation or a summer reunion, whatever it may be, everybody can put things on the list, hot dogs, hamburgers, you name it. And then you have it in one list. So these group texts going back and forth. You're like, that's driving me nuts. Let's see. Oh, great caller here. Chev in Indianapolis, Indiana.
I got a great story I would like to share with you, kind of lift things up a little bit here. And it has to do with something I read in The Current. You had a tip on how to find your old home where you grew up by going to Google.
Right.
Or the Google Maps, rather. And I wanted to share a story. A couple of years ago, this past summer, my mom died. And the following fall, my dad and I were just kind of sitting there one day, and I was on Google Maps looking up something, and I turned to my dad and I said, do you remember the old address of the first home where I was kind of raised, and that's where I was born? It was a very, very small town outside of Rochester, Minnesota. Mm-hmm. And he goes, I don't really remember the address. And I said, well, do you think we could find it? And I went to the little town. It's called Viola. Mm-hmm. I Googled it, and I said, boy, it's not very big. It's literally like 50 or 60 people live in this little town. And I started trying to find a place that he would remember. And he said, well, we live very close to the general store there. And I'm like, okay, I think I found the general store. So let me tell you, this is not a general store like you would think a general store now. This is an old-fashioned general store, 60 years ago.
Wow.
So I got on the little man function, as I like to call it. I got the little man, and I went to the street view, and I started looking around. I said, does any of this look familiar? And he goes, oh, yeah, that's the old general store right there. He goes, okay, we're just up this road. So I walked down the road with him and everything, and we're looking around. He goes, there's the house right there. And he was able to spot the house. And it was really moving for me because I've never been back. We moved when I was 2 or 3 years old. And so I really don't have a lot of memories of there other than a lot of snow. So it was kind of neat. And
what a great thing for you guys to do together after your mom passed away.
Yes, but here's where it got even better, because we got to talk and he started sharing memories of those times and everything. And his best friend from when he worked there in Rochester at IBM, he and his wife still live there. His best friend happens to also be my godfather, and they have not connected in decades.
Wow.
They've shared Christmas cards and whatnot, but haven't seen each other in decades. And I said, you know what, Dad? I said, we should go up there next summer for just a trip. Let's go up there. So he connected with his friend, told him we were coming up there. And last summer, we drove up to Rochester, and it was like we had just seen him last week. Oh. I mean, and it was so neat to spend all that time with him and hear all these stories. We parked in the middle. We went to the little town in Viola, and we drove out there and parked, and we walked all around and actually found the house that I grew up in.
How fabulous is that? And it all started just sitting around, messing around with Google Maps. It's a wonderful thing about technology, and that we're able to go back and experience and to look things. I mean, when I looked up 111 Washington Avenue, South Amboy, New Jersey, 08879. I mean, I still remember that address, right? Is that, I all of a sudden I was like, gosh, how many times, did I wear my Easter outfit, standing on that front porch, or riding my bike and fighting with my brother because he farted on my face. He did once. It's so gross. I still can't forgive him for that to this day. My sisters and my grandmother coming from Russia and, staying with us for summers at a time, or just riding my bike for hours and hours and hours and coming home, and my mom saying, did you have fun today? And I'm like, yeah, but I'm starving. I haven't been home since 8 and it's like 4 p.m. Or the time that I made a snowball and I threw it at a cop car, not knowing that the policeman had the window down, and hit him right on the side of his face. And then I ran, and of course he hunted me down and brought me directly home to my mother. It was like, Kimberly, I always knew I was in trouble. Kimberly, it wasn't Kimberly, it was Kimberly. That was bad. It was bad. Hey, listen, we talked about The Current. If you're not getting my free newsletter, this type of stuff we pass along every single day, you can sign up right now over at getkim.com. Chev, thanks again for telling us a great story. And I know that more people than ever are going to be like, you know what? I'm going to do that too. Yes, look down that memory lane. That's just one of the great things about using technology, is that you can do things like this. You can go back in time and you can see not only your house, but maybe your grandparents' house. And then if you click the timeline, oh my gosh, the memories, they just flood. Like when I saw my childhood home, you know what I kept saying? All 4 kids standing there in our Easter outfits with the bonnets and everything. Yeah. Me sitting there like going, I don't know. What's going on here? All right. How many photos does the average person have on their phone? Okay. I know the number, and I'm looking at going like, I don't know who these people are, but they don't take a lot of pictures. On my phone, I think I have, last time I checked, over close to 30,000. It's like 29,652 photos. But have you ever tried to show somebody your pictures on your phone, or maybe a video, and everybody's just squinting around? Well, this is so fun. You just share all your pictures and videos on your TV for everybody to see. It's really easy to do. If you have an iPhone, you have AirPlay. And then with a $130 Apple TV box on the same Wi-Fi, you just open the photo or video on your phone, tap share, and hit AirPlay, and then it will show up right on the TV. Now, if you're on Android, yep, easy enough. Just get a Chromecast, plug it into your TV, make sure your phone's on the same Wi-Fi, and tap cast. Bingo, done. Now, how many photos does the average person have on their phone? Okay, did you say the number out loud? Okay, because I didn't hear you. Say it again. You're wrong. The average person has 1,598 photos on their phone. And as I said, I don't know who the heck they are. All right, still to come, there's a scam that's spreading that has to do with a $20 bill. I'm going to tell you all about it here on the Kim Komando Show. Ruben in El Paso, Texas. Pleasure to have you with us today. Hi, Ruben.
Well, hi there, Kim. Big fan. How are you? Thanks
Wonderful.
For taking my call.
You betcha, anytime.
So I'm usually the skeptical, kind of keep an eye on things and make sure I'm not getting scammed. But that cam scanner that I loaded, I found out from your website, was a big no-no. And I'm like, oh, man, I thought I did my due diligence to... But
and then you're like, nope. Oh, everything's going to China.
Why me? Yes, exactly. They already know me, I think, but I don't want them to know more about me.
So what are you scanning?
So usually it's like some medical documents for, that I got to send off to another doctor, or maybe to my tax guy, who needs some stuff. And usually I scan it on the phone, then I upload it to an email and then send it off.
What kind of phone do you have?
Yeah, but based on the other caller, I should have something more than the iPhone 11, which is what I have.
Hey, you know what? But the iPhone 11 has a great scanner built in. You don't even need anything.
Yes, and I, because of your website and because of you, I totally thank you. Big hugs to you. I that's what I got. That's what I'm using now is the from the notes.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
From the notes app. Oh, and it works great. So I feel more comfortable. I feel more secure.
Well, there are other options, but if you're using your iPhone and Notes is working out for you, it's fabulous. It really is. And a lot of people underestimate the value of that Notes app that, is included, just about all iPhones, modern iPhones.
Right.
Is that, you could password protect folders. And so if there was certain documents that you scan and you're like, oh, I don't want everybody to see it who just, might have access to it. You could put a different password on it. You can pin things. You can take photos. There's just a whole multitude of things. You can set reminders. In my Notes app, in a private folder, I have copies of all of our passports just in case, you might need that. So it's great for medical stuff, like you said, but your phone now becomes a really important tool to your identity and all the stuff that we keep in safes and in our wallets. Right. And, so if you start thinking about it that way, and then also if you ever find a recipe, something that online that you're like, oh, I want to remember that.
More than you know. Yes, ma'am.
So, you just copy that, take a picture of it, take a screenshot, whatever, slap that into Notes. And so it's, it's like I said, it's one of these tools that I really think that Apple is doing a disservice by not telling more people all the great features. I mean, they're so excited about the Vision Pro and they're so excited about the iPads and all this other stuff. But when you start looking at the value of the Notes app, I think I'm going to write about this. I think I am. I think I'm going to give you 10 reasons on why and how you should be using the Google Notes app. It's the way that I use it a lot. And so in case you're not already signed up for the newsletter, make sure that you do that now. Head over to getkim.com because I'll put that over the next couple of weeks. Once again, that's getkim.com, absolutely free. And Ruben, thanks for your call. All righty then. Barbara in Santa Rosa, California. Hi there, Barb.
Hi, Kim. Your invaluable advice has made my tech life so much more secure. I share your info with family all the time. Thank you so much. You're the best.
Oh, my pleasure. How can I help you now?
Well, I have some modern, not rare dolls that I want to sell, and I'm afraid of eBay because I've heard so many stories about eBay. So I was wondering if you could give me some advice.
Well, why are you afraid of eBay?
Well, I've heard stories about people sending products out and never receiving the money back.
Yeah, I get that. I understand. But, there are now ways to use eBay. That was a while back that you can set up different escrow accounts that you don't ship until you get the money. And then there's a third party that holds the money. See, the thing about dolls is that you have to go where the traffic is. I don't want you to put it on Facebook Marketplace because there are too many weirdos and scamsters and, that are hanging out there. Okay.
Right.
There are different doll marketplaces and doll forums. So what I would probably start with, number one, is before we decide on where you're going to sell the dolls, is I want you to do some searching online to try to find the dolls that you own. And
okay, I did find one.
Okay, and where was it?
I think it was on eBay.
Yeah. Okay, that's what I'm saying. Because in order for you to sell something, is that you have to go where the traffic is.
Okay.
And that would be on eBay. And so, have you ever bought anything on eBay?
No.
Okay. I want you to buy one thing on eBay.
Okay.
What was really great for Father's Day, we were just talking one night right before Father's Day. And Barry was talking about how when he was growing up, his dad would go to the local Gulf gas station in Augusta, Georgia, and get a map, would bring the map home, and with a marker, highlight the route that they were going to take to get to Fort Lauderdale.
Okay.
And so Ian remembered that. And so as a gift for Barry for Father's Day, he went onto eBay and he bought a Gulf Station map from the 1950s.
Wow.
Yeah, it was really cool. And so I asked him, I said, how much was that map? And he said, $10. I'm like, wow, what a great gift for $10. Because I'll tell you, Barry sat there and he put that map all out on the kitchen counter. You know what I'm talking about? And he's like, I think Dad went on Route 35 and then 42, whatever it was. Okay. So what I want you to do is I want you to buy something on eBay. Okay.
Okay.
And then I want you to call me back because this way you know what it's like to buy something. You don't have to spend a lot of money to just understand how it works.
Right.
And once you understand how it works, then you're able to really figure out what it's going to take to sell the dolls. So go buy something nostalgic, something not expensive, and then call me back and we'll talk about selling those dolls on eBay. And Barb, thanks for your call. Hey, just a reminder, if you ever have a question for me, of course, you can always call the show, but you can also make an appointment to speak with me. Super easy to do. Head over to the official homepage of the Kim Komando Show, which is Commando with a K, of course. And up in the top right-hand corner, there's a link that says Ask Kim. Fill that out. I read every single note that you send me through there. All right, still to come, there's a scam spreading that has to do with a $20 bill I need to warn you about here on the Kim Komando Show. So what would you do if someone came up to you and said, hey, you just dropped $20? Well, that's what happened to Sarah at a grocery store. A man approached her, say, hey, you dropped $20. She told him no way. The guy insisted and then tried to shove the money in her wallet. It was kind of weird. She left the store, went to her car, and she checked her wallet. The 20 was there, but her debit card gone. Within minutes, scammers drained nearly $5,000 from Sarah's bank account and her daughter's linked account. See, once they have your card, they move super quickly. So here's what I want you to do. Set up any type of text alerts through your bank's app. This way you get a push notification or a text the second that money will leave your account. It actually gives you some time to freeze your card before the scammers drain everything. Oh my gosh. I know, it just never stops. The scammers never, ever stop, which is just a good reminder that you should sign up for my free newsletter. Almost 700,000 folks get it every single day. It's free at getkim.com. And that's the end of hour 4. But I'm sure in your podcast player, there are some shows that you haven't listened to. Come on, just fire up your podcast player and get more tech know-how, whether you're walking or on your commute or whatever you might be doing.
You know the words dominating today's headlines.
Private equity,
generative capital gains tax.
America's
chip fueled by market volatility. Bets on Fed rate cuts are sweet.
But do you understand how they impact your world and your wallet? In a world that skims the what, understand the why. Because context changes everything. Subscribe at Bloomberg.com.